want to be a mage or a fighter? I can show you how to be a shield.
Welcome to the Scratticus Academy. We are back with some Call of Cthulhu. So first of all, please check out all the links that are coming up in chat now, links to our Discord and all the links you need. And also a big thank you to our wonderful sponsors who we could not do this without, in the form of, hang on before I drop my tea, Bird in the Storm, where you can get a mug that's literally the same size as my head, and we discovered also Torskal's Bicep, and also Mage Hand Press, and you can see their links down below. Other than that, let's hop round and say hello to everyone, and we will start with the very lovely Mal. Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm Mal Hedale. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Mal Hedale. You can call me Mal. It's easier. Everyone does it. I'll be playing Edward Wells today. He's a very nervous, frequently soggy person. You can also find me Friday on Tales from the Grim, playing Summer at Wood Lake with Grimjack 21502, I think is the full.
I can never remember Greg's full channel. It was Tales from the Grim is what I'm going for.
Yep, Tales from the Grim. I'll be playing with Katie Faze and Cleric of Cord and Travis from Wed DM and Lindy and lots of people that you've probably seen on many channels, including here, and I'm hoping it'll be a lot of scary fun just like Cthulhu is.
Yeah, it looks so good. And then we're going to hop over and say hello to the lovely Nassim. Oh, hi.
Hello, I'm Nassim. I'm also Nazgul on social media. I'm also Saya Noor on the Venture Maidens podcast. Today I'm Bo Franklin Veed. your movie star who's just over it.
Oh, poor Bo. And then we're going to hop over and say hi to D&D Paige. Oh, hi.
Hello, I am Paige, known as D and Paige on Twitter, and I'm playing Idris, who somehow made it another week. There's nothing creepy with fingers throwing me this week, hopefully. Maybe nothing with creepy toes floating. We don't really know. We'll see.
We'll see. We never know. And last but certainly not least, the lovely Sage Ophelia.
Oh, hi. I'm Holly. I'm Sage Ophelia. You can find me on Twitter with the same name. I'm here every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today I'm playing Maria Santiago, and I have not seen my husband in like 3 episodes, so I'm pretty sure we're all going to die. It's coming. I cannot wait. It's fine. I shoot him. It's fine.
And last week we found ourselves on a train to Cornwall in the year 1920, if my memory serves me correct. And there were duplicates of ourselves on this train. And we found Aidan again. We found Aidan, who was hiding actually in the train toilets after being followed by another version of himself that seemed to have some sort of aggression towards him. And after Bo decided to climb up onto the roof of the train, we also discovered a very tall man at the other end, over 8 foot tall, in fact. Please excuse my cat going crazy in the background. And he didn't walk, he didn't run, but he would drift, his feet just off the floor. And he followed our party with all of these crazy things happening on the train, trying to work out how to get off. And they soon came face to face with this man, this creature, this suited figure. And poor Edward didn't see the man at all after failing the sanity check, and saw his daughter, the little girl, begging for him to open the door to let her in, whereas everyone else did not see that at all. And I know a lot of gunfire went off and we killed this thing, but no one else on the train seemed to notice it. And then soon upon leaving the train, sort of dragging Charlotte with you, who was a jobber, like sort of like a mess basically, you stepped back into a tomb, and she was no more than a mummy that you had been dragging through the temple itself. And we left our adventurers faced with another doorway, almost another dark corridor, with Anubis, a huge painting of Anubis up one side, and a new god, Seth, the other. And that is where we find our group. And as you stand there, you look around. Theodore is not with you. Aidan is gone.
They came with us off the train, see? Oh no.
See, Maria, they were just here.
Maybe it's another thing where we cannot see or hear them.
Theo?
Prophet
Aiden?
Eddie? You here?
There is no reply, and you also notice there is no other way out. Effectively, you can see looking back onto the train, and all the carriages are empty. And then forward, you see these huge sort of hieroglyphic, these paintings, and a corridor ahead. Otherwise, there's nothing else.
I mean, we are sure this mummy is Charlotte, see? It's no Prophet Eddie or Aiden.
If it even is that woman.
Let's
Looks
see.
like it's just a mummy.
I
Is
don't
there
want
still
to.
a tattoo on its wrist?
There is a tattoo on its wrist.
neither one of the carvings or paintings is holding that staff, is it?
Yes, Seth was holding the staff.
Oh.
Anubis was holding a feather.
So if she has the staff, we give it to this one, and we give the feather to that one.
We
Remind
don't
me,
have a whole lot else to go on.
were there other people in this room? I don't remember.
First of all, these aren't really statues, they're paintings on the wall. And there weren't people other than the mummy that you had dragged.
Okay. Can I go and look at the paintings a little closer?
Yeah, of course you can. What would you like to roll for that? It doesn't have to be spot hidden. It can always be
archaeology.
If you want to roll archaeology, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. No. Them some fine looking paintings.
Aren't they pretty?
Yeah, who has the feather? Do I have it?
I think you took it in the end.
I thought I had it.
Maria has it?
Oh, maybe, yeah. It exchanged hands a couple of times.
I'll carry the body of the mummy with the tattoo over to Seth's painting. Carving.
Now Kith.
Like Lion King him up, like
yeah, you can think that the symbols are the same.
All right.
Y'all want to keep going on? There is an entryway right there. We can.
I mean, do we take her or do we leave her?
You know, she might find her way back to us anyways.
I see, but what if he's like when we find the sarcophagus with my name on it and we need the staff but we don't have the staff? Or we need the bust and we don't have it? It might be better to just... I don't want to go back here again, particularly if we don't have to.
If we even can. We can't go back currently.
Alright, I'll bring it with me. He slumps it over his shoulder. It's the only lead we have to this staff thing that we keep seeing, so I'll take it.
Okay. What are you doing? Are you walking through the corridor and the door, or are you going back onto the train?
Oh, I thought the train disappeared. No.
It's still there. You can see it.
I don't want to go back on the train.
Yeah, no way. Iris is going back on that train.
Almost as you say this out loud, you see the door to the train close off and sort of slowly disappear into the wall.
All right, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Eddie, you can have your gun trained on Miss Mummy in case she wakes up. Just try not to shoot bow.
Yeah,
Sure.
do your best.
I'll have you know I am a good shot.
All right, then.
Actually, you've not missed one of those.
All right, let's go to the shooting range, Eddie. I think you and I have some...
I'm more concerned that his sanity is low and he's still a good shot, so, you know.
Oh. Is this like foreshadowing from our keeper?
So you can walk through the corridor and you can hear that breeze, that wind sort of echoing through here as you are thrown into darkness. And your feet goes from sand to solid. And it's almost like someone turns on a light switch as light suddenly pours through. And there is a marble floor beneath your feet. A very decorative marble floor. a huge set of stairs, an old grandfather clock in the corner, and lots of rooms, and a balcony up above you, and what looks like another corridor that just leads into what looks like a dining room, a kitchen. This is a manor house, and a huge chandelier settles overhead.
Y'all, because we keep seeing things that we've all seen before, is this any of your places, childhood homes, dead husband, maybe ex-husband's place, anyone?
No, from me.
No?
I'm not so rich.
Touche.
Eddie, maybe you steal this place?
I'm sorry, the poem in Zoom chat is
If anyone knows the song from Nightmare on Elm Street, that's what I based it off of.
Oh, I just thought we were rhyming.
No, it's the song it's the rhyme they sing about Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
No, I've never been anywhere like this.
Bo, this is like a movie star type place. Is yours? Or someone you know?
I don't recognize it, but it is nice.
Anybody study history who knows maybe when this clock was made? So we can see, I mean, it was 1924 and then it's 1920. I don't know what year it is anymore for seeing this stuff.
I think we lost our historian, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I might have that little placard, though, that says the dates and who made it.
Yeah, who made it and when.
Let's see.
Yeah. So I'm going to go over and, like, kind of pull it from the wall and kind of look down and try to see.
You can pull it from the wall and you can see the plaque on the back, and you can hear it. It ticks quite loudly. It's that constant tick. And it says, made for George Herbert Carnarvon, 1894. However, this does look like it's been here for a time. It doesn't look like it's been made this year and brand new. It still looks pretty new, but it's not like fresh off the workshop.
Can I roll a history check on the rest of the...
Yeah, roll me a history check.
Can I spend 3 luck?
Yes.
Good.
You can look at the rest of this house, and it is very 1920s decor. Probably not far off your year 1924, if not 1924. It's got that very much that feel and that era to it, and you can see sort of there's a drinks trolley that is perched over by one side, where you can see lots of crystal glasses, and there's an umbrella by the door and a hat stand. There is a hat on the stand, and boots perched on the doormat. A little bit muddy.
As soon as we find that drink trolley, I go right to it.
It's fine. If it's sand, he'll know. This looks like it's about 1924. So, I mean, of course, it's not real, but at least they seem to be getting closer to the year. Maybe next time we see 1928. I don't know. Is there tequila over there, Eddie?
Is there tequila over here?
As you lay your hand on a bottle of like vodka or something like that, it effectively turns into tequila as the word is said.
Praise.
If only I always had this power.
No, we've seen enough shit that Edward just looks at the bottle and is like, yes, there is tequila.
Coming.
Can I search through the coat that's hanging on the wall?
Yeah, you can easily search through the coat. There's quite a few pockets. You can see a standard revolver in there. You can see a handkerchief, and also what looks to be like a little notepad and almost like one of those extendable pens, a very slim one, for taking notes.
Very good. I want to take the gun, please.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take the pen, too.
Yeah, you can easily take the pen. That's all good.
Cool.
Other than that, there's not really much in there. You can see a name tag, which looks to be sewn in again that says George Herbert, and it's a sort of tweedish looking jacket.
Wait, did you all see the name too?
I don't think so. I was gonna ask everyone if I probably would have said George Herbert out loud when I checked the back of the.
Yeah, because I was about to just yell out George.
Y'all recognize that name, perchance, Mr. George Herbert?
It's not the man with the dog.
No, I don't believe so.
I know Caswell's name, but I just can't hold on to his name.
No, it's not. It's not John Cooper who owns he owns the dog. This is
As you say his name, Idris, you feel like a sting, like a bite on the back of your neck. You can literally like slap it and pull it back, and there's a mosquito, a big mosquito. It doesn't look like if it was native to either like America or the UK. This is quite a big mosquito.
Y'all see this thing? This thing was in here. Does this place? You guys gotta like rub something on yourself. I got some sweet blood and just show them this like nasty, big old mosquito.
Let me check your neck, make sure you're okay.
Some alcohol on it.
Can I first aid Idris with with the bottle of tea?
Definitely dying.
Why am I bad today? Do I have a reroll? This is important to me. Yes. Yes. Let me use my reroll to.
Oh no!
we have 2 in the group pool still
We
too.
do.
I will try.
You both sort of
Clearly dumping tequila on the back
I
of.
won't try. I have a 1 in medicine. I take it back.
There's medicine and there's first aid,
Oh wait.
so there's more than
Okay, I'll try that. It's still risky, but I'll try it. Hey.
There we go. Yeah, so with you sort of can move Maria out of the way and take this this tequila or whatever alcohol you pick up off the trolley, and you can sort of dab it and like tap it away, sort of like, and it does sting, Idris, when this happens. But Bo, when you do this, you not only see what looks like a mosquito bite, but a cut, almost like a paper cut. It's that thin over the mosquito bite.
Looks like something got to you before the bug, or after the bug. There's like a small little cut on the back of your neck.
Really? I mean, it just felt like it bit me. Well, it was a big sucker. I mean, maybe when I slapped it, maybe I scratched myself. I don't know.
Idris, could you roll a sanity check for me?
Oh, God. Yes, I can. Get over here. Roll 20.
I believe in you.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Roll 20 hates me right now.
I'll take all the fails for you. You can succeed this one.
There we go. Oh no. Roll 20 is freaking out on me.
I was going to say roll 20 is not loading.
Ooh.
Okay. So you reach back and it does sting. If anything, it feels very hot to the touch, like it was all done in just a split second a moment ago. And then with that added on top of the alcohol Bo has just put on top, you notice almost in like seconds that there was a large lump of swelling and it has gone down in seconds.
Ooh.
Something that would normally take, time and whatever.
Well, that seemed to work, Bo. Why, thank you.
No problem. He starts massaging you a little bit.
Are you like a cat making, like, what is it, biscuits?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, all right. Is that supposed to help with the mosquito bite, Bo? I don't really know.
Yeah, just getting the poison out or whatever. You're good now. He walks away.
And Edward and Maria, who aren't in this like weird little interaction, could you both please roll me a spot hidden check?
Yeah.
Oh wow, Edward.
We're taking shots, so we're not seeing anything.
Yeah, you're over there. You're stressed out. You could be taking tequila shots, and you don't notice what's further down the corridor as all the lights go out.
Yes.
Good.
Edward, you fumbled that?
Yeah, like Edward, as the light goes out, you drop one of the bottles of tequila as it makes you jump.
Eddie, this is a party foul.
What happened?
You dropped the bottle of tequila.
The lights went out. It's
Well, yes, that too, but anybody have the Zippo, the lighter?
I have my lighter, but we still have my flashlight too. He digs in the bag and pulls the flashlight back out and tries it.
Yeah, it works. It takes like 1 or 2 clicks, almost like you can hear the batteries rattling around, but it does click on. And you see this very same mansion you saw before in a very... The only thing... You see everything almost like as a shadow, so your eyes are adjusting to the darkness, but it's not very clear. And this light sort of casts over everything. And you can hear footsteps.
Do they sound like they're wearing shoes?
Do a listen check for me, please. It's not a question I was expecting.
I was going to ask if I could also do one.
Yeah, you can both do a listen check if you want.
Oh.
Wow, Roll20 hates us today.
Has it rolled? My roll.
What's wrong with everyone? What happened?
We're listening to feet. I wondered if they were wearing shoes since we saw the boots.
Has it rolled? Because my roll 20 isn't updated.
Maria failed, Edward failed, and Idris failed.
Okay. Then no, you can't tell if they're wearing shoes or not.
Hey, Bo, can you roll us a failure just so we can get like team failure on the train?
We're doing listen?
A listen check. God, like roll 20's being evil today.
Ooh,
Just
I'm
get
totally
all the
gonna fail
failures
this,
out
yeah.
of the way. Yeah, let's.
Oh!
See, both
What
are- well,
size of shoes are they?
I got
you
big
are
ears.
listening, and you can hear footsteps walking down the hallway, and they are coming in from the direction where... So the front door is behind you. You've got the stairs up the front, and you can tell from the right, down through the open doors, through 3 or 4 rooms, the footsteps are coming from there. And from the sound of it on a bare wood floor, this does sound like bare feet.
Okay. I tell them, it's coming from over there. Doesn't sound like they're wearing shoes. Can I tell if they're like heavy set or small or like...
They're not overly heavy, but it's more like you can hear it's like a stagger, as if someone is staggering. So it's not fast footsteps, it's not a steady walk.
Mhm.
It's almost like a slow one, staggering.
I casually, in the least threatening manner possible, point my gun vaguely in that direction.
I point the flashlight in the same direction.
As you slowly pan up this light and this gun, you see a man in what looks like maybe an evening suit. A very relaxed evening suit, like a smoking jacket. And as you turn the light on him, he stops. And he turns to look at you. His body stays facing one way as his head turns to look at you in the other direction. This man has small round spectacles on, a very sort of, you think usually it's probably a well-kept moustache, and he's hunched over. He's got a very green tint to his eyes. As he looks at the light, pauses, and almost with a very snake-like movement watches it. You notice he's not watching your faces, he is watching the torch, the light itself.
When you say a green tint, do you mean his like the part that's supposed to be green?
The white in his eyes.
I didn't think it was the part that was supposed to be green.
And you see him start to stagger towards you, and you hear that buzz, and he slaps the back of his neck. And then you hear that buzz again, and he slaps the other side of the back of his neck and keeps walking towards you.
I want to threaten him to stop.
You threaten away, like what? Roll for me. I can never remember. Is it actually threaten? Intimidate.
I think. Oh, okay. Intimidate. Well, we're cocky with this one. Yeah.
How are you intimidating this?
He's also very scared just from the green in its eyes, and so kind of stumbling on my words. I'm like, hey man, just stop where you are. We're armed. You're not. Don't come any closer. Just tell us what you're doing here, what you want.
He gets closer and closer, and that is when you can see the real green in his eyes, and it's like it's leaking from the sides. And he looks at you, and he gets closer and closer, and sort of almost like looking at you, stands upright to how you think he probably used to walk, how he used to stand, and almost mimics the way you are standing.
George?
At that, he tilts his head.
Hola. We are lost, and we don't want to be here. So if we could just leave, that would be great. We're having some sort of shared fever dream, so we just go now, okay? Unless you have staff or an ankh, or what else are we looking for?
A feather or
No, I have sea feather.
I think that's it, because we have the statue.
See, so if you have any of these things, we would be very very pleased to take care of them for you.
He lingers there, sort of swaying in place for a moment, and then pushes past all of you and walks to the front door and opens it for you.
What is on the other side?
Could I be mean? No. So the other side, you see darkness, like a grey swirling darkness, and I need you all to make a sanity check for me as George almost like not bows low but offers, like indicates with his hand for you to go through.
Oh no.
Okay.
Edward dolphin leaps into the darkness.
Reroll? Oh, okay, you lose 6 sanity. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try and re-roll one.
You want to reroll?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Nope.
Oh.
I will say take 4 sanity damage though, as it's not a fumble. And Edward, you look into this doorway and it sort of captures you for a moment, almost like a wonder. You still see this darkness. You still see this spinning sort of, almost like in the center, as if you were stood in the middle of a storm. And you hear singing. A little girl singing. And it's a very sweet song, and you've never felt so entranced by something like this as well. This is beautiful, and you just feel like you want to get closer as it seems like it's fading away, but to you you must hear it. It's like a siren song. And your temporary insanity will be that you can hear it, and every time it fades you want to get closer to it. But the rest of you don't hear this song. You hear distant screams. And down by the sort of the corner of part of the doorway, you see this tentacle reach up and start working its way into the room you're in.
Oh, y'all, no. All right, y'all. I'm gonna turn right back around. I'm gonna go that way.
George, please, if you could give us an exit that is a little less screamy and full of tentacles, we would very much appreciate that.
As they're talking to George, I start walking slowly towards the door.
As you walk towards the door, you see a small, childlike hand reach through this mist. Come on.
I want to grab the umbrella from the umbrella stand and like hook the handle around like his trousers or his suspenders or something. Be like, what the hell are you doing?
And Edward, you can't hear Bo. You can feel that tug. You can feel the tug on your back, on the back of like your suspenders, where it's probably the easiest way for Bo to grab hold of Edward. And it's almost like you're being given an extension, like as they hold back, you lean forwards and you realize as you sort of dip over the threshold, you see this little girl and you see a garden. The mist is gone. And she smiles. And you see a tree with a swing. And her hand is still there. And she sort of looks eagerly over to it. Come on, will you push me? I don't want to go too high, though. I don't want to fall.
If he takes any step past the doorway, I'm gonna yank him back.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, "Don't worry, I'll catch you," and he keeps trying to walk towards the door.
I'm gonna have to get you both to roll opposing strength checks, please. Yeah, you, like, Edward, you feel like there's something holding you back, and if anything, it's quite enraging. Bo, you've now got, like, a firm grip. If anything, you can take hold, like, have the umbrella as one in your hand, on the other. As Edward is leaning forward, his eyes have glazed over. But he's fighting to get away from you. And Edward, all you see on the back of you are these tentacles wrapping around your arms, trying to pull you away from this little girl.
While I'm holding on to him, I'm just gonna say to one of the girls, throw some vodka in his face or something, wake him up, and yank him further into the room.
Okay, with that strength, you can pull him back, And Edward, you feel yourself fall. And it's strange. It's like the floor beneath you gives way. You are no longer by this garden. The little girl you see reaching out for you as you fall, and you feel yourself hit the ground, but it's almost like you lay down gently or in like slow motion. And is Idris or Maria throwing any alcohol over him?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if Maria's gonna do it too, but I feel like as soon as I'm told to throw vodka on someone, it's like I get permission to do it. It's great.
I think we're gonna have like a dual attack where Idris is throwing vodka on him and I'm chucking like a bottle through the door at this tentacle thing.
Yeah, as you do this, Edward, you feel almost like a burning sensation, and then you realize it's vodka, like because you can feel it running down like your throat, and it's the kick that brings you back. And you sort of wake up in time to see Maria throw this bottle, and this tentacle reaches out, grabs it, folds it over and crushes it as George closes the door slowly in front of you.
Did it seem to like be bothered by shards of glass stabbing into it at all?
Nope.
Okay. Is he
What?
okay? Eddie? Are you okay?
Did you throw vodka on me?
No, I know there's such a thing.
I did. I definitely threw vodka on you.
You were walking into a trap, dude.
I heard singing.
I
No
heard
one was
screaming.
singing.
No,
It sounded like hell on the other side of that door, and you were about to waltz right into there.
It's lucky Bo is here pulling you back.
His hands start to shake, and he reaches for one of the bottles.
Yeah, Edward, we had a deal, Bo, Maria, and I, back when we lost you and Teddy. If you see something, say something, because we're going to pull you right out of it, because we've been seeing some weird types of shit here, and we can't be losing you to some tentacle that wastes the booze.
Yeah, we don't know what you keep seeing, but we've all seen stuff that's thrown us for a loop and made us forget where we are. So, if you see whatever it is, again, tell us.
Okay, yeah, just... I need a drink.
Well, while we're talking about it, everybody sees this man with the green eyes. See, I'm not going crazy. He's still just
yeah.
kind of there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk about you when you're
He's-
standing right
he's
there. But
Watching you, but he slowly starts to walk up the stairs.
Should we follow him?
I don't really know.
I mean, maybe we see if he has any batteries or knives in his kitchen first. Maybe flashlights.
Maybe. I mean, I got a pocket knife. Does anyone else got a knife? We all got guns, right? I'm looking at all the people with guns.
Sí, pero if we have 16 knives and Teddy loses 10 of them, then we'd be,
Oh, we're gonna need another dozen.
Yeah, I had a knife. Now he's gone, so I don't.
So let's just pop into the kitchen real fast and then we follow him up the stairs.
All right, I'll stay in between the doorways to try and keep an eye on the both
Yeah,
of them.
you can
groups.
watch him, and the rest of you. You can go into the kitchen, and you can see a knife block. Otherwise, that's about it. There doesn't seem. In fact, if you open the drawers, they're completely empty. There's nothing in them. It's odd for a kitchen this size, because this is like in a manor house. This is a huge kitchen. You can see huge stoves, and it's very much empty, other than these 4 perfectly laid out knives.
All right, Maria, Go ahead. You suggested it.
Knife, knife, knife.
You can set it all up. And Bo, as you're like in between, you can see what they're doing and you can check back over and you see George round the corner, sort of reach the top of the stairs, stop, turn, and walk out of your line of sight. And you hear new footsteps on the landing and a scraping.
Y'all done in there? I don't see him anymore, and there's something else coming.
See, we're ready. I'll come
Yeah,
back
Alice,
out.
how many knives were in that?
4.
4? All right.
They were perfectly laid out.
It's not
All right.
spooky at all.
Maria took 2, correct?
I took all of them unless someone else
Okay.
grabs one.
Oh,
She's
no,
just
I'm
sort
good.
of gonna tuck into the belt.
Bo, what are you seeing over there?
I don't know. I'm hearing something else though. I don't see that zombie dude anymore. But something is upstairs. I can hear it.
And these footsteps aren't really moving. They don't seem to be walking along the landing. If anything, they're pacing in the same place. But that scraping is also constant. And you can tell it's coming from the same place where these footsteps are.
Okay, so up we go. I don't care to lead, since I have the biggest gun.
All right, but be careful. Slowly. Stealthily.
Very quiet. I am very quiet.
And it is still dark.
Someone, Eddie, are you tall enough to go over my shoulder with the torch?
Yeah, I can do that.
Do we see any type of candelabra or anything that we could grab?
You can see one, like there's one on what looks like just like a chest of drawers, like downstairs, almost like a basic thing. So it looks like it's for show. You can definitely grab it.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it and be like, Edward, you still got the ladder?
Yeah, I still got my lighter.
And I'm just gonna like offer it forward.
I'll pull out the lighter and
You can light it up, and it's just that little doof in the darkness, and you can start to walk up the stairs.
Very quietly.
This staircase does creak, but it's not an overly creak. It's nothing too much. It's not like it's really old. If anything, it sounds like a new staircase being worn in. And you walk up and up these stairs. You can go slowly, and you can keep an eye out for anything. Who's in front? Okay. Maria, as you sort of get to a certain level, you can see on the balcony part of it. You're not at the top of the stairs yet, but you can see. And you see a young boy sat in pajamas with a car, just racing it backwards and forwards, scraping it against the wood.
I see a little boy, and he has a car, and he's scraping against the wood. Hola, little boy. I like your cars.
And this little boy stops and looks at you, holds his car up, and just puts his fingers to his lips and starts to drive the car again.
I don't know any little boys, but I know Bo, you might, so just be ready. He's probably not real. I'm gonna continue up to the top of the stairs as quietly as possible.
Yeah, I'll follow. I'm behind Maria, and I am preparing to see my little brother.
You see your little brother around age 5 in those same pajamas, just bottoms and sort of like a button-up nightshirt, just with the car, moving it up and down. And as you get to the top of the stairs, you've got where the little boy is on the landing and a door behind him, and then a long stretch of landing. That's the direction you saw George go. But you see no George. There are other doors, and you can assume maybe he's gone into one of them. But this little boy sits there, racing the car up and down.
I still have the mummy on my shoulder, so I'm gonna kneel down to Danny and like hold up the wrist, the tattoo on it, and just point at it.
And Danny looks at you quizzically, almost as if he doesn't recognize you. He does recognize you, but he doesn't. You're much older to him here. And he looks at what you show him and then holds up his wrist. And you see the same mark on his wrist. He puts a finger to his lips and then starts to race the car backwards and forwards.
I'm gonna whisper to him, Danny, can you show me where you got that? Did you get that here?
He looks up at you and then slaps a mosquito as his mosquito bites him on the back of the neck. And looks at you, puts a finger to his lips, and points down the corridor.
I smile at him and I gesture to everyone else that we should probably go down that way too. And I'm gonna start walking down.
Same.
Yeah.
As you all start walking down this corridor, you do hear the door behind you open. You can easily look around. And Edward, you recognize the little girl that walks out of it, holds her hand out. Come on, Danny. Danny stands up, leaves the car, takes her hand and walks through the other door, and closes it behind her.
Eddie, I have a question you are not going to like. This little girl, is she still with us, or has she moved on to the next? Is she dead?
I don't know. The train is the first time I've ever seen her.
What about, are you married or ever run the risk of making a baby with someone?
Sorry, I almost choked on my tea.
I mean, yes, I've been with women before.
Let's see, but, you know, there are certain ways to not have a baby, so if maybe roughly, I don't know, if he's supposed to be 19, 20 on the train, and the little girl, she's what, 6 or something? So maybe like 10 years ago? Maybe it's a baby that never was, or that is, but you don't know about her?
Maybe I don't know what else to tell you, Maria.
I mean, see, the answer is no, it's no, but we see a little brother who exists, but is not with us, maybe. And we see, like, someone I know who may or may not be with us, so it's just trying to find a pattern.
No, I understand. I don't know.
Okay, it's okay. We want to go in her door or this other door?
I say we keep going down the corridor. Follow wherever George went.
It seemed like Danny pointed down the other way, so Maybe he's helping.
And down the end of the right, this corridor that Danny pointed to, you can see a door at the very end of the corridor. You see a door on the left-hand side of the corridor and a door on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Should we just open them all at the same time?
You know, I don't know. What if there's something terrible behind each one and we open all at once, everything comes out?
And then we have a gun on each one. And we shoot them all at once.
Touche.
Eddie shoots one, I shoot the other. And Bo, you and Idris can go open the doors.
That's true. All right. Bo, which one do you want to open?
Well, I've got... I'll take the middle.
All right. I'll take the one on the left.
I shoot with Idris, I guess. Tequila sisters for life.
But are you taking the one on the right?
Well, if Bo's gonna open the door, I suppose I'm shooting with Bo.
Okay. So you open the one on the left and the one at the far end of the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can all open these doors all at once, straight away. Are you firing straight away into these doors, or are you looking at what you see?
Okay.
Aiming.
Yeah. You can aim.
Aiming, cocked, ready, but not shooting blindly.
Idris and Maria, you throw the door open, and there's a study, and George is sat at his desk. His eyes aren't green. In fact, he looks pretty healthy. The walls are covered in books. You see little Egyptian trinkets everywhere, little statuettes, it looks almost like archaeological finds. And he sits there at his desk. He does not seem to move as you have thrown this door open. His head in his hands. Just like, no, 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 no. We didn't listen. It's not what we thought it was.
George? George, is that you?
He does not seem to respond. He just continues repeating those same words over and over again, that no, no, no. It's not what we thought. It's older.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and be like, y'all, we got a hindsight is 2020 in this room, but seems to be settled in.
I think we can probably look at his book.
Wait, before you go in there, just hold on a sec. See what's in my door.
You can throw open the door again. You and Edward, you throw open this door. And it is a small room. Not like a closet-sized room. It's big enough what it looks like maybe you could fit one single bed in. It's a very small room. And it is covered in newspapers. Every part of the ceiling, every part of the walls, even the floor. And you can see some of it's quite old and curled up. Some of it's not that old at all. And you recognize the headlines of like the Mirror and the different newspaper titles that you've seen everywhere. And there's lots of images of a smiling, very sort of happy George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon, as he stands there, which looks like to be a classic portrait on these newspapers.
Okay, well now we know who this guy is. Some sort of fancy gentleman with a lot of money.
Is there anything alive in your door?
Looks like we got a new friend.
No. Just a bunch of newspaper clippings. I want to read one of the smaller the articles real quick, skim it real quick.
Yeah, you can look over, all of them if you want. You can even step into the room and have a look around. Nothing happens. It's literally a room of newspapers. And you see a picture of George. You see some other men as well. And you see Egypt. You see an excavation. You see another man called Howard Carter. And it talks about the excavation of Tutankhamun. Hello, readers. It's literally readers, like right now. And there's a mention of George being the fourth to die from the mummy's curse from Howard Carter's expedition. And the death is too obscure for it to be an accident, which is a quote from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the man who wrote Sherlock Holmes. You can see after reading further, he died of a mosquito bite he got abroad, which, whilst he was shaving, cut himself and it got infected, and within 2 days he was dead.
Ooh.
It was too convenient, and he was the third person to die on this expedition.
Well, it's a good thing we took care of that cut of yours, Idris.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it.
I don't have a hairy neck, so I won't shave back there. Or really at all. I'm kind of in the tomb.
All right.
Pero maybe you flip up your collar just in case.
Yeah, I would flip up my collar. I'd be like, okay, there was a little cut on there, though. If you remember, Bo, you said there was like a cut. Did it look like a razor cut? Like a shaving cut? I don't know. I've never shaved.
Yeah, actually, it was pretty clean. Real thin, but didn't seem to be, anything to worry about. We got some alcohol on it, so just keep it clean as long as we're doing this.
Out of paranoia. I feel like, Maria, can you take a little peek?
Maria staunchly holding the gun aloft at this man, kind of like.
Yeah, it you can see the back of Idris's neck, and it's like the swelling's gone down, and the cut itself has already started to scab. There is a tint of green to the skin.
Oh, so you look infected. It's turning green around the scab. So, I mean, I hope you don't die from it, but
That'd be a real shit way to go.
See, I don't really know how to fix it.
I don't really either. I mean, Bo was trying to kitten hands it earlier, trying to massage the venom out, but I don't think it was working.
Yeah, mosquitoes, I don't think they have venom. They're not like spiders.
Well, you never know.
I mean, if this man died, then it's possible, I suppose.
Oh.
Not saying you're going to die, but
Well, should we get on with this house and maybe get out of here before I die?
I mean, I have knives if you want me to try to
I just don't think it might matter at all in this place.
Okay. How about see if we get back to the tomb and it's still greenish, I just cut around it and we take off the skin and some of the rest of it.
Well, before I answer that, Bo, do you still have that booze in your bag? You got that whiskey?
Oh, yeah.
Then yes, I would have it cut out of my body. It's okay.
Okay. All right, that is plan B. What is plan A?
I'm going to see what this Earl George Herbert has in front of him that he is boo-hooing over.
And you can walk over to the desk. He doesn't seem to notice you, like, at all. He's focused on what's in front of him, or even not really so much anymore, as he doesn't seem to be looking at this notebook that he's writing in. And almost just, he has been drawing in the same spot for a long time. As you can see, it's going through the paper as he says these words. And you can see a drawing of the god Seth and the god Anubis, almost like a doodle with lots of writing besides it, as if it's almost like a diary of things found. And you see around the edge, he's drawn little tentacles. And he flips over the page and just starts scribbling again, and you see these tentacles reach out across the page. It's just, it's older, it's older, it's older. He just keeps repeating, it's older, it's older. And one word sort of just almost carved into the paper is what? With the drawing of the staff next to it. He flips over the next page, there's another drawing of Seth, and starts carving in the word fate.
Am I able to reach forward and take this?
You can try.
Sounds ominous, but I will try.
You reach out and you can get your fingers underneath the book and start to pull it away. And it's almost like he's writing on it as you're pulling it away. And as you move it away for a second, he starts just... He doesn't stop. He's now doing it on the desk. And then with his free hand, he grabs your wrist and looks straight up at you.
No.
It's older. It's older. It's older, and he just keeps going, and you can feel the grip tightening around your wrist, harder and harder.
Maria, I did a no-no, and it's got me now. Can you just do that little thing you do, or maybe beat him off? And I'm like gonna try to like pull his hand off as I'm asking for assistance.
Yeah, as you do that, he sort of leans across the desk. This man has a strangely firm grip, and as you sort of try and pull away, he stands up from the desk, and you realize he is over 8 foot tall. As he stretches upward, his suit sort of folds out into the one you saw on the train as he starts to pull you closer over the desk.
Shit. Maria, okay, I think that I really messed up now. Can you just... And I'm gonna start like being like, guys, can I please? Anyone? Like, trying to get his hands off of me.
You feel the other hand come up around your throat as he pulls you upwards towards him. His face.
I shoot.
Yeah, his face leans in, and as you hear a gunfire, like this shot go off, you just hear, it's older, in this sort of very broken voice. And can you roll a firearms for me, please, Maria?
I preemptively did, but I can roll it again.
No, that's all good.
I was ready.
I didn't see it. And as you do this, how are you aiming at this as you see this thing drag Idris up?
As she's sort of leaned over the table and he is 8 feet tall, it would probably be for the face, because that would be what would be farthest away from her. I'm imagining he's sort of pulling her into his body. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna aim for, that big old noggin.
Yeah, you aim for the face. And Idris, you hear, almost like you feel the impact of that gunshot go off. There is no blood. There is nothing. You see his head and his sort of torso loll back, his grip still slightly tight on you as he sort of rolls back up, and there is just a hole in his face. No guts, no gore, no nothing. Almost like a warped picture. And you hear a very deep laughing as this sort of weird voice again. Too late. And this grip goes. And you can fall onto the desk as this thing falls forward and crashes. And you just see George Herbert laying dead on the desk, back to normal height.
Still
So
keeping
he-
my gun on him.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at the back of his neck?
There is a mosquito bite, and there is a razor cut.
Hmm.
It's George.
You said to say if we see any. Everyone saw that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What the fuck?
I think I got the book.
You could still hold that in, like, your hands.
I thought it might have something in it, but I don't know if I care to know anymore. Who knows more about Egyptian gods than I do? Because I know about diddly squat.
Nah, I'm only good with the archaeology, not so much the gods.
Well, maybe it might have something we can get with, but you know, personally, I think I'm gonna look around this room and I'm gonna get the hell out of this room because that was kind of gross.
Does his desk have drawers?
Yeah, the desk has drawers in.
Let's look through them.
Yeah, you
Let's
can
search his pockets.
You can see, poor guy. You look through these pockets, you can find inkwells, you find a lot of writing material, you find another gun, and which is just kept, which you can see is almost like under a latch, but it looks like the latch is broken where someone's tried to get it out in a hurry. Otherwise, it seems to be pretty much standard office writing things. You see a few letters that are sort of piled up on top in one of the other drawers, addressed to George Herbert.
I'll take the gun and kind of look at the letters. And does anybody know any of these names from that the letters are from? Anything from the newspapers?
You can see one that says it's from Howard Carter, and it seems to be a letter inviting him on this expedition, as he is one of the great benefactors who has funded this expedition. And more letters that seem to have been kept saying, basically, I hope that you get well soon. I heard you were in ill health, and it's this over and over. And you will know that Howard Carter is famous for discovering the tomb of Tutankhamun, and this was only a few years back.
While I am back here, I don't think this guy is going to wake up, so I'm going to try the surgery that we're going to do on Idris on the back of this man on his mosquito bite.
You're gonna practice on a cadaver for me?
I mean, it's better than practice on you.
But no, I appreciate it. You know what? You're my favorite tequila sister. You're also my only one, but...
Oh, goodness.
Right. You can either roll a first aid, a medicine, or I'll let you do dexterity because it's about, being careful, basically.
As she does this, can I go ahead and start reading through the book?
Yeah, no, of course.
Okay.
And on an extreme, Maria, you do manage to do this almost very quickly. Sort of slice around, click, gone.
So I'm trying to basically carve a circle in this man's neck and pull out the ick. After having removed the mosquito bite, is the flesh in that around it still is it gross? Is it green? Does it look infected?
No, literally, it doesn't look like it's gone deep at all. It's not like the flesh in general is gross. You guess that it's probably one of those things where it goes through the system very quickly.
Idris, I think maybe a showtime.
You really think it's gonna work?
It looks like it went through very fast, so I think maybe Bo, Eddie, you have another idea? I mean, it still looks gross, right?
Yeah.
Show them the back of my neck.
It looks to be calming down.
Oh.
It looks to be calming down.
It doesn't look as green anymore, almost as if as soon as you have shot this person, it's like the green is receding.
I think it's worth waiting until we can try to get back to the temple. If it seems like we're going to be here a lot longer, then go for it. But I say we get out of this place first.
Okay, good. I don't think I can do that so well again.
I don't think so either. Did I read anything in this book while I was being horrified by my future scar?
You have learnt about Tutankhamun and how a lot was discovered. In fact, it was the most that had ever been discovered of any form of Egyptian tomb. It is basically the discovery of a lifetime. A lot of gold, a lot of hoards were discovered, and people were dropping like flies. Everyone who went into that temple was dying. Something went wrong. And you see sort of doodled everywhere, rather crudely, these little images of Anubis and Seth. And under each one it says fate and death.
All right. And I'm going to tell that to the group like, well, I hate to break it to y'all, but the people who go in this temple, which I don't think that was the temple we went into, but God knows at this point, is everyone kind of died. Just gonna put it out there. Something about fate and death being a big theme here.
It's the mummy's curse. That's what killed Howard Carter and his crew. That's kind of famous.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Did they do something specific, or was it just being in there? Like, did they like poke them in the eye or something, or steal something from them, or
I mean, they walked into an ancient tomb full of dead things. I mean, now I can't really discredit curses because of all the crazy shit that's been going on with us, but...
I mean, they took almost everything, didn't they? Like, that... There's a big deal about Tutankhamun being excavated, and... Isn't he in a museum now?
so? Maybe if we bring things back, we get the mummy's boon.
I don't know.
Maybe he's got some stuff here. I want to go back to that. Wasn't there a third door that we didn't open up?
There was a third door that you didn't open.
I kind of want to go check out that third door now.
And you can step back out into the hallway, and you see that door is still unopened. You can see down one end, you can see that room covered in newspapers, and you see this door close, but at the other end of the corridor, you see Danny, and you see the little girl holding his hand as they both have a finger to their lips.
Okay. I'm gonna do it back to them.
As you make it back, you see Danny hold up his hand and just go. And from the door in front of you, you hear 3 knocks.
Since I still have a mummy on my shoulder, I'm gonna peep into the room and be like, can someone cover me while I open this door?
Oh, see, I got your back though.
Yeah, and I want to get out of this room anyways.
I'm gonna knock. on the door as well.
How many times are you knocking? Are you just knocking 3 back, or are you? I know this feels very reminiscent of Theodore and Aiden.
Do 7 back. I remember how this works.
Yeah.
7.
I'm gonna do 3 back.
As you knock 3 times back, 3 much louder thumps come back. And I need you to make a listen check for me.
Listening. I listen so good. No, I don't. Ugh.
Then you don't hear what is said, but there's like a murmuring or a whispering on the other side of the door.
Damn it. Can I put my ear up against the door and try again?
Yes, you can.
Eat. Okay. Just gonna open it.
As you listen and can't hear anything, you see what looks like a fingernail come through the keyhole. Look around, like sort of move slightly and then retract back out.
All right, maybe we don't need to open this door.
Has there been another way out?
I mean, we don't look around in the kitchen much or in the dining room. It's possible. Were there any windows? I don't remember any windows.
Not in the door I opened.
As you start talking just casually outside of this door, you just hear, "Don't you dare." You've come from the same door you stood in front of. "You should be in bed." And you see the 2 kids at the end of the hallway run back into the room and slam the door. And Bo, you recognize this voice.
Oh, that goddamn bitch.
Maybe we open and I shoot her just to make you feel good.
Yeah, I can shoot her myself too. I'm gonna put the mummy down for a second and I take out my shotgun and get it ready. And I'm gonna open the door and fire immediately.
You fire immediately. And
Sorry.
That's the sound Aiden makes as he hits the floor. You shot him.
I mean, I could.
Sorry.
But you fire into this room, this empty room. There is nothing in this room. It's dark. But as this door is sort of flung open, you see fingernail scratches all the way down from the top of the door to the bottom, as if someone's been trying to get out.
It's a totally empty room. There's nothing on the walls here.
There's nothing on the walls.
I slam it shut.
As you slam the door shut, it reveals your mother, who grabs you by the shoulders. You see her nails start to extend and start to reach. As she's sort of like holding you from behind. And you know that grip. She used to hold you like that when you were in trouble as a child and march you somewhere. And you look over and these fingers are grey and long and the nails start to grow.
I'm gonna try to shoot her again.
Yeah, roll round. So roll me a firearms, please.
That's before I roll for the shotgun itself? Or do I just roll the weapon?
Oh, okay. No, yeah, roll that and then roll the shotgun.
Okay.
Because the shotgun's just damage, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
What is the difference between the HG and the RS? That's revolver
HG is
shotgun?
handgun, RS is rifle shotgun.
Okay. Okay, I thought so. Can I use a reroll?
Yes, you can use a reroll.
Oh wait, I think I pushed the wrong button. Okay, I'm spending 2 luck.
Yes, that's fine. You sort of roll round, and as you do, you see your mother, and she doesn't look right. It's almost like when you had nightmares of her as a child, this is what she looks like. You fire off the first one, it misses because you've just taken aback by the shot. And on the second, where are you aiming?
Her belly.
Yeah. You just fire, and you actually see her sort of really sort of fall back. The close range of the shotgun. She falls back and lays still on the floor.
Do we all see this?
You all see this.
Well, what the fuck is this?
A woman who called herself my mom. And I walk up to her and I want to like hit her in the head with the handle of the gun.
Yeah, you can do that. She doesn't move. You hit her as you sort of raise the gut of like the butt of the gun. The head lolls over. She is dead, but there is a very wide smile stretching from the top of her cheekbones either side as you hit her.
Bo, I don't know if you gotta do that anymore. I don't think it's gonna move no more.
Maybe look at the wrist.
I look at the wrist.
Staff tattoo is there.
Yeah, she's got one too.
You say she called herself your mom. This is not your... Well, obviously it's some weird, freaky tomb hallucination, but this woman, she is not really your mom. I mean, who's she supposed to be?
Well, she brought me into the world, sure, but she sure as hell didn't raise me, so...
I think whoever did, they do a good job. Clap on shoulder. I think we go check on the children now. They seem afraid of her.
Alright. Yeah.
Edward just hands Bo the bottle of liquor he's been slowly drinking from the entire time all of this shit's going on that he's had since downstairs.
Yeah. Thanks, man. And he will start chugging as well.
Have you seen her a lot here?
Well, it's not the first. But I didn't really see her before. I just kind of heard her. Oh, no, I did see her. Yeah. This isn't the first interaction we've had since this tomb. But who knows, maybe she won't come back now.
Maybe if we're so lucky, and I'll like kind of close the door as we're talking and just shut the door so we don't have to see her anymore.
Yeah. And you can see that other end of the hallway, the door creaks open, and a small child's head pokes out. And if you look in their direction, they sort of, and they quickly close the door again, and you hear them run back into the room.
I'll shoulder my gun and walk over to the room that they went into.
Are you opening the door, or are you listening?
No, I'll walk in.
You walk in, and you see what looks like a shuddering sort of mess where these two kids have got, there's a duvet on top of one of the beds. There are two beds in this room, but there's a blanket over them, and you can hear the be quiet, like from the little girl.
I'll kneel down into their little blanket fort and tell them it's okay. We got rid of all the monsters. You guys can come out.
Quickly close it again so that you can't see it, and it falls to the ground with nothing underneath it. And metal clangs to the floor because there is a branding iron with this staff shape at the end of it.
In the
Otherwise,
blanket fort?
yeah, it just drops. The shape of it drops. There are no children in there. You heard them, but there's no children in there.
Oh. Okay. I'll take the branding thing and get out under the sheet. Is there nothing else in the room?
It's a child's bedroom. You can actually see quite a few toys. You can see the bed. You can see what looks like a chest of drawers with kids' clothes in it. Set up for them, almost literally, a boy and a girl.
Okay. Well, I'll walk out of the room and show everyone the tool. I don't know where the kids went, but this was the only thing in there.
We're not supposed to use that, are we? It's not like some ticket out.
I don't know.
Everything that's had it has been a monster. So,
Probably not then, right?
I mean, unless the option is be here forever or become a monster, and then, I mean, it's your choice, but...
Well, there's that mummy. That mummy in the hallway's got the brand on it, doesn't it?
You don't
Maybe.
think a mummy is a monster?
No, I agree it's a monster. I'm just, maybe what we're seeing, all these people we're seeing with the brands on them are mummies, and all the mummies are branded, maybe. And for some reason that carries from real life into whatever the hell is going on.
Did we check that George didn't have it? I didn't check.
No, I only check his neck.
I mean, the kids had it.
Your mom
Charlotte had it, and that's the mummy we brought with us.
Downstairs.
I think maybe since we're all talking about it, show of wrists. Still make sure we're us.
Wrists are clear.
That's good. All
No.
right, and that was the secret mummy. Good
If
job,
we-
y'all.
If we find Aiden and Prophet Eddie again, we must remember to check.
True. Now, you did mention that there was potentially a dining room downstairs. We know we can't go out the front door. Maybe
There were
there's
no other doors up here, right? We checked all of them.
Checked all of them.
Okay. Well, yeah. If there's other spaces downstairs we haven't seen yet, time to go back.
You can walk down the stairs, and almost as you take a step off that last step of the staircase, the lights go on, and you can hear the clanking of cutlery. You hear laughter. You hear drinks being clinked together. That sound of wine and champagne being poured. And the doorway where you first saw George through past the kitchen, you see people laughing and smiling, cheersing, taking their seats at a dining table full of food.
Do we recognize any of them?
The one you recognize, if you'd have to walk further to the room. At the head of the table is George, smiling, laughing, talking to those either side of him. But that's it. Otherwise, these don't look like people you've ever seen before. Say one. As Charlotte sits by his side, smiling and cheersing as her glass of champagne is topped up.
Is there a wedding ring on that left hand?
There is no wedding ring,
Okay.
but they do look rather cozy.
Y'all seen this?
So,
Yeah.
I could kill him again, but I don't think it matters. Are they seeing us? And Maria will kind of like do the wave thing.
As you do, someone sort of shuffles past, like, oh, excuse me, and John Cooper pushes past, like, sorry, I'm late. Caswell, would you not? And this dog sort of like bounds in after him, and you see the table almost cheers like as John walks in. And you see John walk over to Charlotte, kiss her on the forehead, say, hello, my dear, and come and sit down on the other side of the table. Caswell, trying to jump up, gets... Some people look absolutely sort of disgusted by this, but you can see George and John sort of laughing as Caswell does this.
Okay, so I think what we need to do is look for more of these, but you're good with women. Go get Charlotte and just take her hand and look at it.
Sure. Do you guys want to go see anywhere else on this first floor? See if there's, I don't know, any other rooms? Or is the dining room and the kitchen all that is on this first floor?
You can see another room further on than the dining room, which you can imagine is like a big lounge or something like that, because you haven't seen one of those yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go check it out if you want. I mean...
Yeah.
It's the buddy system, go along.
Good point, Maria. And I'll go and, as Bo's doing his thing, go and open that door.
Okay, it is actually open. So Idris and Edward, you can walk. Sort of just, it's almost like this, everyone is so busy in this room, it's not, they don't seem to notice you stroll through. Some do look at you, like some of the waiters that seem to have the drinks. Again, in that white suit there was on the boat, seem to be pouring drinks. You can also see a very small sort of like quartet-like band sort of playing music in the background. And you can walk past all of this to what looks like a lounge. And there is a man there with his back to you, just stood by the fireplace. But Bo and Maria, what are you doing?
I wanted to walk up to Charlotte and play like a part of the dinner party and be like, oh, I just want to thank you for inviting me. What a nice home. What a beautiful dinner.
As she stands up, and says, oh, not at all. Sort of, you can tell she's trying to remember your name, but maybe feels like it's impolite that she doesn't know your name. She's like, it's wonderful that you could make it.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make it too. You know, that ferry ride here was kind of a bumpy ride.
I'm sure it was. You must have come a long way for this get together.
Yeah, well, don't you remember the travel here? Oh, we arrived together on the boat.
She pauses and looks at you. She's like, I'm sorry, I think you must have me confused with someone else.
Well-
a dance perhaps. Will you dance with me?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm gonna take her hand and be
Mhm.
looking for her wrist and seeing.
She is wearing a long-sleeved dress with a very low back, but you can see just peeking out what looks like the top of like a tattoo or the symbol itself. And
Mhm.
she sort of leads you onto the dance floor and starts to very slowly sort of waltz with you. She puts her hand on your shoulder and takes your hand in the other. Well, it's very, very nice to have a movie star here. George told me a lot about you.
Well, I'm excited to be here and spread the good word about my new film. And I'm gonna look over to Maria and nod that like she's got it.
And
Maria will kind of just sit down where she had been and turn to George and say, "You're a very lucky man.
And I'm sorry, excuse me?
You know, to keep such company as these. You know,
And he sort
beautiful
of
woman."
casts his eyes across the table. They are good company, aren't they?
Oh, see, can I see your hand, please?
And he sort of looks at, what a strange request. May I ask why?
It's when I first meet someone. It's a Mexican tradition. We read the palm. We see if it's good fortune to meet them or no.
Of course. Where are my manners? And he holds a hand out. He is wearing cufflinks.
Oh, see, it's well, you see this line right here. It goes down pretty far. Does it go all the way down to your wrist? It's your love line. It's very good. It goes down so far.
And he just sort of pauses and clips like this cufflink. More out of confusion, and then offers you his hand again, and you can see this tattoo.
Oh, I see. It goes right into your vein. That means that someone you are related to loves you very much. And I love this tattoo. Where do you get it?
And he looks down at his wrist and, what tattoo?
Oh, maybe it's just. Oh, I see. It's just a little. Just a little here. All right, it's all good. Yes, I think he's very fortunate we meet like this. And Maria kind of like over the bone, like.
Maria, can you roll a sanity check for me, please?
I would love to. I'm extremely sane.
You look over at Bo, and Bo is dancing on their own. Just
Maria looks over, thumbs up, and then like.
And as Bo moves more and more, you see the temple around you. You see Bo dancing to nothing. As someone walks in through the door that you saw Idris and Edward go into, almost a dark figure, a dark shadow, not too sure. It's almost like your vision feels very blurred as you're seeing both at the same time. As this person walks over, takes Bo's hand, and starts to dance with them. This is not Charlotte.
Excuse me, please.
Of course. Please help yourself to food and drink.
Yes. And I'm gonna walk over to Charlotte-ish and say, "Excuse me, may I cut in with this handsome young man?"
And Charlotte looks over at you and says, but I'm having so much fun.
I see, but he is riddled with disease.
Hey now.
There was a mosquito, and it you don't want to touch him. He is my brother. We don't look very similar. Related through mother only. But this this is not a woman you want to be with. I think she's too beautiful for you to touch. And Maria like looks like.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
forgot.
too riddled with disease. Yeah, see.
I'm sick. I can't. I shouldn't be dancing right now. But this was lovely. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna step away.
Yeah, Charlotte leans in, sort of presses her lips against your cheek and withdraws. It's like, that's a shame. And she walks away, but she does not take her eyes off of Maria as she walks back to the table and sits down.
Well, I think maybe we waltz to the other room because that lady you were dancing with, that is, yeah, she is actually a hooded figure. I can sort of see both the tomb and this place at the same time, and we should go immediately the other way. It's great. See, we go.
Yep. Got it.
Yes,
Let's go.
see,
Let's go ahead.
We dance off. You know any salsa or merengue? It's okay. I can lead. It's fine.
Yeah.
And
Dancing into the other corridor.
I was gonna say, you literally like,
Dun, da, da, da.
like slide through. Whilst this has been happening, Edward and Idris, you walk into this room, and that man with his back to you, you see George again. But you've just walked past George. And George looks younger, not that much younger, maybe a few years. And he turns his head and looks at you, see a whiskey in his hand. He's like, oh, goodness, guests, of course. Please help yourself to a drink. And he sort of indicates to some crystal decanters on one of the side tables on a silver tray.
Alrighty. Edward, what do you want?
Whiskey.
And I'll stroll over and I'll kind of swirl the whiskey as I try to pour to and make sure it's not sand. Fool me once.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not sand.
And I'll pour 2 whiskeys and kind of like 2 hands and bring the bottle at the same time.
And he smiles and is like, please, take a seat. I'm so glad you got my invitation. I'm not going for a bio. I'll be right back in a second.
I'm going to match that.
And this is where Edward just sings us the song of his slow decline into insanity.
Oh man, do I have a good insane song? I don't know that I know one off the top of my head.
I'm going slightly mad. This Queen is classic.
I don't, unfortunately I don't know that one.
Fair enough. It's not one of their... It's not one of their, like, bigger ones, but...
I could do, They're Coming to Take Me Away, where that guy clearly is insane.
To the funny farm, where life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away! Ha ha! I know that
Perfect. 10 out of 10. Although, Idris, we were not singing when you were gone.
Did I miss song and
That
dance?
makes me fully believe you.
You missed me elucidate through song. Feels right
Yeah, I
now.
have to go back and watch now.
Well, I probably will now because
The one time that the players must watch the VOD when it comes out.
But yes, when Idris and Edward pour themselves a drink, George indicates for you to sit down, and he sits himself in a very large armchair by the fire. And he looks at you, he's like, I'm so glad you are interested in this. I'm rather excited, actually. Howard Carter came to me for full funding, and he has requested I put some of my own people into this opportunity, as it were. And You will be paid, of course, but the riches we find will be divided among us, and we will have our names carved in stone for history. Are you, did you have a think over about my proposal? Are you thinking of following me to Egypt?
Sure. I do have a quick question,
Yes.
Third Forge. And I'm gonna pull out the notebook and not show him, like, and then like kind of flip open to a page that has, if there is one, the symbol without so much handwriting of the staff. I'm gonna like rip that really quick and just be like, I was doing a little reading real deep because I want to make sure you know I'm dedicated to this. And do you know what this means? I couldn't find a translation for what this symbol is.
Oh, of course, pass it here, let me have a look. And he sort of holds the book open and looks at it. He's like, now I've seen this somewhere before. And sort of walks over to one of the bookshelves and takes a book off, opens it. There's very little known on it, but it's called The What? And I believe it's a cult, but we're not too sure fully on what everything is. Maybe we'll find more when we're out there.
I guess, do you think there would be anything else you think Mr. Wells and I would need to know about this or anything at all before we go?
Well, all of your food and beverages will be provided for you. You are only there to provide your own clothing. We do have your tickets sorted to get on the train, and then we will go from there and catch a boat over, and we'll make our way over to Cairo.
All right. Well, do you mind if I borrow that book? I'll give it back to you by the train ride.
Is it not yours?
No, the book that you pulled out for the.
Oh gosh, yes, of course you can. And he sort of takes it and holds it out to you.
Thank you. I think I'll do some reading on this because it really caught my interest, caught my eye. You know.
Oh, fantastic to hear it. We take a lot of precautions whilst we're out there, safety, things like that. We take a lot of mosquito nets for inside the tents. And we have many of our first aid kits, and we will have a doctor among us.
Okay. Do you know if Miss Charlotte will be going?
Charlotte? No, of course. Why would she go?
I don't know. It is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Oh, gosh, no. She hates Egypt. Hates the heat. Hates the sand. All of it.
Does she? Okay. Good to know. I forgot. Now that you mention it.
She's very happy here, just entertaining.
Oh. Okay. Well, Edward, do you have any questions that you think we should know before we go on with this expedition?
We can't hear you, Edward.
How about now?
Yes.
Everything said I was unmuted, so I don't know. No, Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, I think that's better, yeah.
Apparently a setting got changed somehow. He's just like, no, I think that covers it. This symbol's from a cult. Are they active now?
Oh gosh, this is ancient. No, I don't imagine so. Cults don't really, exist anymore.
Good to know. What about? Gosh, this. forgive me for being uncouth, but what about firearms? Safety?
Well, of course, we don't want to go out there gun-ho, but everyone will be equipped with a firearm. They can be provided for you if you do not have them already. I know some people prefer their own weapons, but others don't tend to carry them.
I don't think I have anything else. Idris, do you?
No, I don't think so. I guess I'm just trying to think if there was anything else we should know about safety in a tomb. You know, how not to die, how to keep mosquitoes away, how to remove skin that might be infected.
And George starts looking at you, and at this point, by a mirror, you can waltz into this room, and he's almost just like, oh goodness, more of you. Please, come in, sit down. I didn't think you were coming.
Oh, see, we always come when we are called for.
And this room is a big fireplace where you can see George by it. You can see Idris and Edward sat down on one of these big Chesterfield like sofas, and there's quite a few of them. There's books everywhere. There's another desk, but George sits there and he's like, please help yourself to a drink.
Am
Brandy,
I still seeing double?
No, it's flicked back. This is like you are in this living room.
Oh, George, you seem to be everywhere. You're a busy man.
I do like to keep myself busy. Yes, I do.
George was just telling Idris and I about how pleased he is that we're all going to Egypt as part of this expedition.
Oh, I don't think I can go. I am my sister is pregnant. Mm-hmm.
It's such a shame.
Oh, see, I know.
Not for your sister, obviously. I mean,
we are muy feliz, pero I'm sorry, I cannot do it. Yes, Egypt is no, I cannot go.
not your sort of thing.
I mean, I like shooting things, but it's shoot a mummy is already dead, you know. So I think I stay.
Why would you shoot her mummy?
Exactly. I have no skills there. I'm just going to stay home and not go to Egypt. Anyone wants to come to my sister's bridal shower instead, or baby shower rather? Maybe both. You can come. See, yeah. I'm bringing the gun, so you know it's. I must go. So.
Well, it'll be a shame not to have you.
Oh, see, it's very sad. I cannot go to Egypt.
And you, sir, and looks over at Bo. How about you?
Oh, I've got to go anyway. I've got some research I have to do for a coming film of mine, so I guess I'll be seeing you there.
Interesting. So you're not traveling with us?
Or, well, I could. He's like trying to read what's happening, what you guys have already talked about, and like why you were planning on going with them. And I guess I could come if there's space.
Well, Bo, if you're heading out now for that research, why don't I join you? Sir, George was so kind to lend me this book on the what, which is a cult related to that symbol we might have talked about earlier, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, you know, there's something about the occult in my script. I'd love to be able to read that as well, if you wouldn't mind. I also run my eyes over it, and we'll return it as soon as we're done.
Oh, yes, of course, that's absolutely fine. As my friend here has said, it will be returned to me as long as it's being used for research and things like that. Why not?
Yeah, I think we'll probably head out and get that done so we can return this to you as soon as possible.
Thank you very, very much. Well, it was a pleasure to meet all of you. Maybe we will get together again in the next few years after we've changed history.
It's possible. I don't want to change history. But maybe I see you again. I did have one question. The things in Nitun, when you go, if you take them, can you? Is that bad or?
Well, we are archaeologists. We are excavators. These things, you know, we take them for research. This is not just personal wealth and gain. This is allowing the world to have an insight to what we are finding.
Well, if I could just give a little bit of warning, my own studio told me to be well equipped with lots of bug spray, so make sure you are
Yes, we have
prepared.
We have mosquito nets for the bedrooms in the evening. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. Mosquitoes aren't, you know, I don't think there's a big thing out there.
Oh, you don't? Well, bring vodka too, because I hear that vodka can really, really clean out a wound way better than anything else.
Yes, interesting. As I said, we do have a doctor who will be coming with us, along with the rest of the team. It's a shame you can't all be part of it, but...
I see, maybe they see you here. And you meet up later.
Maybe.
Ooh, as an attempt to try and find out where Theodore is, you know, I've actually been assigned my own little guide, I'd say, when I travel. He would make good company as well. You don't happen to know him. His name is Theodore, and whatever his last name is.
Theodore. I can't say I've heard of the name. And he just sort of has a long pause, and he thinks for a moment. I do. Theodore Atkinson. Is this the man you're talking about? Yes. No, I've heard him mentioned. I've not had the delight of meeting him personally. However, I have had his sister come and work with me on some information and getting prepared for things like that. So I have heard the name in passing, but I'm afraid not had the delight of meeting this very intelligent young man yet. I believe he is working and studying at university and is unavailable, so his sister said.
Ah, well, shame, but good to know. All right then, have yourself a fine evening.
Thank you. And he turns back to the fireplace and walks into the fire and disappears the other side. And you all feel very woozy, feel very tired, very, almost like your head is spinning, very dizzy, as it's almost as if the room starts to swirl around you. Like you don't feel fully stable, like you feel like the room is spinning and you are stood in the same place.
Y'all feel that going on, or is it just the vodka slowly seeping into my system?
I think it's me too.
How do we make it stop?
And it gets more and more intense. And now your vision is so blurred. Like, if anything, you can make out things. It's like your head is shaking really, really fast. And you hear footsteps enter the room. And Charlotte stands there with a drink in her hand. Oh dear. And you all sort of black out. And you all hear yourselves thud into the ground. What brings you round is the sensation of being dragged through sand on top of stone. You feel yourselves sort of being propped up probably, you actually think against each other as you can feel someone moving. And you can slowly come round.
What's dragging us?
Man, I'm keeping my eyes closed.
I'm looking. I'm like, what the hell?
You just see hands with these long fingers dragging you. And you feel almost like your bodies are paralyzed, unmoving. That tingling sensation. And you're all propped up against each other in the center of a room in a tomb. There are tables in this room. You can see all around you just these hieroglyphics, the images of Seth, the images of Anubis. And out from the shadows step 1, 2, 3, 12 hooded figures. Each one on their wrist, the staff, the what. And can you all make a spot hidden check for me, please? Okay.
Oh my god, I actually got one.
You all did, other than Ed. Right.
At this point, that might be for the best.
Yeah. And Maria, Bo, and Idris, as you sort of loll awake, you can feel yourselves all propped up against one another, Edward with you. And you see Danny stood behind these hooded figures in his pajamas, a finger on his lips, and a toy plane in one hand, just, and he throws it into the sand. And Edward, you see on the other side, that little girl hold up a drawing and put a finger to her lips. And that is where we will leave Call of Cthulhu this week. Okay. So, it's getting a little bit crazier as we go through. Also, because I'm a historian, I feel I have to say it. Please go and look up George Herbert. He genuinely is a real person, and that is the real way he died. So, yeah. Otherwise, please check out all the links that are coming up, that are going to be coming up in chat now. We have some seriously awesome players here, so please go check them out as well. And we would love to hear your favorite bit, or what you think, or conspiracy theories, or whatever your theories are about this over in the Discord. So please let us know what you think. Also, a huge thank you to our amazing sponsors who we could not do this without, in the form of Bird in the Storm and also Mayhem Press, where you can see all of their links. Also to some of our other supporters of Tabletop Loot, Arasabad and Ruink.com, and you can check out all of those down there as well. Other than that, keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you here next week for some more scoops and to see what is actually going on here. So see you later. Bye.